Alright, welcome to this post-commentated run of my Dishonored all collectibles world record. So I will be talking a bit about the run and try to explain certain things and also what difference this run from the 100% run. So we start off using the elevator glitch to allow us to get on top of that building. The reason why we do this is to jump over a trigger for the Emily cutscene where she asks us to go play hide and seek with her. This run really starts off the exact same as the 100% run, which is basically finish the game as fast as possible. The first 3 splits are exactly the same. In the first 2 levels of the game we use this elevator glitch quite a bit. As you saw, the glitch allows us to travel up corners. So you can travel up any 90-degree corner really. And it's hard to understand how it works, but it has to do with the vault game mechanic. For some reason the game engine treats edges, like it treats corners as a number of ledges that you then can vault over, and if you do that with a specific setup you can vault all of those really quickly and it just elevates you to the top. We do the same thing here on the bush. It looks like we're flying, but we're actually just standing on an invisible hitbox. Or I am standing on an invisible hitbox. At this point I'm basically on a timer because we have to wait for the assassins to spawn. The reason why we go up here is so that we can drop down and die when the assassins have spawned. The game is programmed so if you die in this intro fighting sequence, the game simply rolls the next cutscene and you progress. As you saw, the cutscene instantly starts playing when I jump down and die. So I could mention something about the definition of all collectibles. This category is defined sort of as complete the game and get all of the collectibles in every mission of the game. And the collectibles in this game are all of the runes, all of the bone charms, and all of the Sokolo paintings. Those are the 3 things that we have to collect all of. Also, it's important to note that it's only the collectibles in the missions, because those can be tracked on the end mission screens of the game. This means that we don't have to collect things that are in the mission hub, which is the Hound Pits hub. The reason why the first 3 splits are exactly the same as with the 100% run is because there's no collectibles in those basically. And outside this dream, which is the 4th mission, I guess you could say, or at least the 4th segment, is it could be the same, but I use a slightly different route. I will talk about why later. So here in the prison we use the elevator glitch again to really escape the prison insanely quickly compared to a casual playthrough. Again, this is the exact same as the normal 100% route. A couple of different ways of doing these elevator glitches. But we simply abuse the fact that there is no roof on the prison, so we can just get up here and run out, basically. Here you will see, at least soon we will see a lot of vaults, like vaulting over boxes and things. And that's something that's, at least in the beginning of the game, it's used quite a lot. Because it gives you slightly speed boost. And also, well, I failed that one vault, but could have been faster. If you vault over ledges, you go quite fast. And it's way faster than getting a climbing animation. want to try to be in the water as little as possible because it's slow to swim. Also, bottle strats, as this is called, is quite cool. Grabbing that bottle real quick is a fast way to get rid of the corpse on the wheel. So yeah, that's a vault as well. Like vaulting over things in this area is something we do a lot. And another elevator glitch to skip climbing the chain right there. Because climbing the chain is really slow. As you will see in a second, we put away the sword but still keeping the crossbow up. This is something that's done in basically all parts of the run, because we don't want to have the sword out, since it makes us run slower. And we still want to be able to have the powers and weapons out. It's usually the blink power that we'll be using a lot later on when we get it. But this is, in this sequence, it's the crossbow.
Over here. I'm Samuel. And I work for some good people. They want very much to meet you. They said you'd come out here. I can still hardly believe it. I'll take you to meet them. Just down the river from here.
So we'll soon get the blink ability, and then you could say that the run really starts off. Because up to this point it's really just running around and trying to move optimized. When we get the blinking we will start using glitches, or start using more glitches really. There is one main glitch that's used a lot in this category, and it's the thing that we call slip clip. It's a way to clip through walls by using the blink ability. I wonder why my cursor is on the screen. Oh right, that was... If you use the Steam overlay, the cursor shows up on the recording, I've realized. Yeah, so we will be using slip clipping quite a bit to clip through walls and go out of bounds. And it's a combination of the blink ability and the lean mechanic. But we will see that later. But that, along with the elevator glitches, are the main. And those are the two glitches that's really used in the run. Also here, right here, we do something called an AS, which stands for R is storage skip, I think. What that allows us to do is to skip cutscenes immediately. You can skip cutscenes in this game, at least some of them, but you have to hold down the F key for, I would say, maybe a second and a half to skip them. But if you hold F in cutscenes and after skipping a previous cutscene, you don't have to hold it down for that time, it will just instantly skip it. It seems like maybe not such a big deal, but if you add up all the times we use it in the run, it saves quite a bit of time. It also has quite a fun name. Hello. An ass. So now we have the blink ability. And the route I'm using for Dream here is slightly different from the route that is used for the 100% Dream. This is the old route. The reason why I do this one is because it allows me to leave this part with one more mana potion. And I will be needing one more for Campbell. I don't upgrade anything yet. I don't know if you even can upgrade anything right there. Oh, of course you can. Something that we do, or that I do a lot in this run, is something called damage cancels. And I will be doing that when I'm blinking out of this window. If I'm basically has to do with falling down and avoiding a landing animation. If you fall from specific heights, you can take a slight bit of damage when you land, but you won't get an animation. If you fall from really high, you would get an animation where Corvo sort of crouches down and tries to get back on his legs after taking a hard fall.
It'll be a rough trip.
So this is where the old collectibles route really starts, and you will see me going around and grabbing a ton of stuff. Great thing about this category is that it shows off a lot more from the game. There's a lot of areas that you never visit in the 100% speedrun that you go into for all collectibles, because there's stuff in there that you need to find.
There are the real oddbirds living on the fringes like that Granny Rags. They say she's nuts.
Also, there's a couple of bone charms that I'm always looking out for. This run is really dependent on random elements, such as which bone charms are given to you. The different bone charms, like you see I had a swift shadow right here. The different bone charms are always in the same place, but it will always be different ones with different effects. So that one could have been anything really, but this time it was swift shadow. Also, that link to the balcony is really freaking hard, so I'm happy I got that first try. Tried to find a way to avoid having to wait for this bookshelf, but it sadly couldn't find a way to do it. Or, well, couldn't find a way that was fast enough at least. Sleep not that guy so that the other guy blocking the doorway would move out of his way. Also, this is an interesting strat. I place a spring racer right here, and then we see me clipping through the door. That's a slip clip that, as I was talking about. I place a spring racer there because as I talk to Granny Rags, there will be 3 enemies that spawn that I have to kill in order to progress the Granny Rags quest. And those 3 guys spawn just on top of that spring racer, so they immediately die. So I can spend that time while they are dying going in there and getting the rune. Instead of upgrading to agility 1, the reason why I do this early is mainly to get the double jump, which can be quite nice in this sequence of the game, because there can be enemies who are really in your way. I need to do the quest that Granny Rags gives me, because by completing it she gives me a rune, and I need all the runes. Also, there's other stuff in here, like this bone charm for example, that I need to collect. This area can be really annoying, because sometimes the enemies decide to really stack up and body block you. But this time it was fine. It could have been way worse, even though they hit me with some things they threw at me. In a lot of places in the run I wait for my mana to regenerate.
I knew you wouldn't disappoint me. Now I can stroll
It's
along.
basically so I will be able to have enough mana to blink at all the important places.
Go on upstairs.
I have a very decided route on where I want to blink. You have to have that if you're running this game. So now I'm done with that quest, and I can move on to the main objective of this mission, which is to kill the Overseer Campbell, High Overseer Campbell, and steal his notebook. So here I upgrade to agility 2, which allows me to run a lot faster. Reason why we could have gotten blink 2, which allows us to blink further, but it is faster to get agility 2 first, since it allows us to run so fast. Right, so now there will be a sequence with a lot of these slip clips, and I don't think I got every one of them first try. No, I did not. Oh shit. Alright. I had to... Those were second try. A lot of these are actually quite messy, but it's fine. So I get down here to the basement and get all the stuff in here. This is a really hard trick. I need to jump and touch the bottom of that door to get to the backyard. It's really easy to fail, so I'm happy I got it second try. Luckily I can use quick save and quick load to try it multiple times. Again, we slip clip to get through walls in a way that's fast. That guy was sort of blocking me, which was unfortunate. Now we have Blink 2, so now we have all the abilities we want to upgrade throughout the run. And here's a pretty cool jump. I shoot that arrow to alert Samuel in that direction. It will make him turn away from me. And then when I land, he will immediately be turned in the direction I'm landing. If he would be looking towards the wall right here, then it would take a slight bit of time, like a second or two, for him to turn around. Also, I crouch while landing on his head, otherwise he would take damage. Here is an example of one of the asses, the storage skips. I'm basically holding F right here, just keeping the F key down. And when I've linked over to Pembleton up there, it will skip the cutscene immediately, or the dialogue rather. You can see the skipping slider for a moment there. So this is an interesting difference between the all collectibles route and the 90% route. Because in 90% Weepers you would... Oh, that's quite a bad mistake. In 90% Weepers you would get 2 runes in here. You might think that you would get those for all collectibles as well. You have to remember that it's only defined as all the collectibles in the missions. So we never get those runes. We simply go down and kill the Weepers and then we're done with the mission.
I'll take you to the Golden Cat when you're ready. I've taken Lord Pendleton enough time.
It's not really a mission, it's just an intermission really. Yeah, so I guess it's a time to mention that about bone charms, different bone charms. There's a couple of bone charms that you want to have for the run, and there's one in particular called Spiritual Pool that is completely necessary to get a good time in this category, in my opinion. Spiritual Pool makes you regen mana faster, which allows me to blink more. Like, it really makes a lot of difference to have it or not. But there's also other ones that has to do with mana, such as Spirited 1 and Twist of Fortune 1 and 2. And those are really good to get as well. I haven't got... I think I have Twist of Fortune possibly at this point. But I have a point later on where I equip Bone Charms. If I do get Spiritual Pool, I will equip it immediately. I get those grenades because I need them later on to kill the Pembletons. I killed this guy to get the key as well, so I can use the door out. Basically, Spiritual Pool is the one bone charm that I am constantly looking for. Here's a really cool out of bounds strat to get into a secret room. It has a lot of slip clips in a row. And this was actually a really nice execution of it, for being me. Most doors can be slip clipped, and here we see I got Spiritual Pool, which is really great. Having it this early in the run is super nice. So I was fiddling with the timer here, and Apparently I accidentally switched to comparing against my average segments. I'm not really know how I did that, but yeah, I accidentally did that. So here I want to be going for another of those damage cancels. And that can be quite tricky. Because I have Spiritual Pool, I changed my route slightly. Because I don't need to get as many potions as I would have had to otherwise. I would have wanted to get the damage cancelled there as well, but it wasn't possible. This is the strat for having what we call bad luck Pembleton. They can be in different places, but if one is in the basement, we do that out of bounds strat with a grenade. There's a lot of things going on here, it's hard to talk about everything. I got Spirited 1 as well, which is nice. Means I have some good bone charms. This guy can be quite annoying, and because there's a bone charm right behind him. And I finally was able to get out. Now I have basically all the best bone charms I could have. And I had some good luck there. Those weepers in that cage can really troll you and be in the way when trying to clip through it. So right here I had a lot of spare mana in the end of the mission.
Are you both ready to go?
That's because I had Spiritual Pool equipped. It's almost at the point where I think I might have been able to skip another potion. So I do turn off the comparison on my timer, because I know this run is on maybe not the greatest pace, but it's definitely fine. And I know I have some good bone charms. So in order for me to not choke it away completely, I turn off my comparison. I really have problems with getting nervous when I get a fine run going. So I started with doing attempts for this. So at this point we will be going to we'll be going to Piero and buying mana potions.
Would you like to see your room in the tower?
Because mana is so important, we need a lot of potions to be able to blink a lot. And because we have all the money from picking up the Sokolo paintings, they give quite a bit of money, every one of them. Because we all have all of that money, we can go to Piero and buy 10 potions, which keeps us going to tower basically, just picking up a couple of them on the way in every mission. Also, this is my standard place to equip bone charms. So I think I will equip Twist of Fortune and Spirited right here. So I will basically have a lot of mana, because I have all the best bone charms to get good mana. Buy 10 of those, equip Spirited 1 and Twist of Fortune. And then we head off to Bridge.
Off to Caldwin's Bridge, sir. We'll get our sleep later. Just climb aboard when you're ready. What do you think, Corvo? Caldwin's Bridge. You've been in the city for years, but you lived in Dunwall Tower with the late Empress, so maybe you haven't visited the bridge before tonight. Something to look out for. See all them lights on the water? That's right. We'll be spotted for sure. You're gonna have to.
The bridge has some really cool clips and out of bounds strats. We will see soon.
About bringing Sokolov back alive. He's smart. Maybe even smarter than Piero. Got the whole gun wall under his thumb with all that natural philosophy business.
It's also one of the parts that I think changed a lot, like that we've changed a lot.
What do I know?
When optimizing this. Clip through this, which is really easy to clip through. I have to destroy that door with a gun, sadly. Then we have a jumping clip coming up. It looks pretty cool. Sadly I landed slightly off, so I had to do a backup strat to get up to the door. But it would still be faster than doing the inbounds route to that place. Also, here's a great example of why saves are pretty bad in Dunwall. You can just force your head into them and pick up whatever is in them. It's part of the objective for this mission to get these Wayland tanks. So we have to do some slight detour to get to do that. And here's a quite nice strat that I sadly failed. It really sucks because that strat is really cool looking. I should use a grenade for those planks, but sadly I threw the grenade right into the railing. So I lost a little bit of time because of that. Inside of this building I need to go really fast, because as soon as people notice me, the overseers will start playing what's called the overseer music. And that prevents me from blinking, so I would have to run around, and that's really slow. So sleep dart Sokolov. And then I bring him to the boat.
You made a neat job of it. Drop him here and we'll be off.
So these are the animation screens. And basically say how many bone charms and runes and stuff and paintings you have in every mission. And that's how we control that you have everything.
They set up a cell for Sokolov in the old Campbell.
There's one of that for every mission. Probably noticed.
Shock him waking up in the straw and old dog food. But from what I hear, he's woken up worse places. Guess we all have at that.
The next level, or the next mission we get to, is the Boyle mission. It's known for having a lot of randomness. Well, basically you're supposed to kill one of the Boyle sisters, and it's random which one it is. And the luck is decided in really strange ways, and we have different strats for different lucks, and different strats to figure out the luck and similar things. It's all in all a quite advanced thing that I will not go into detail about, but for all collectibles there's basically good luck and bad luck. With good luck I will only have to kill one Boyle, and with bad luck I would have to kill two of them, or basically three of them, all the Boyle sisters. But it's really a mission that decides quite a bit, because having good luck saves a nice bit of time.
Great, the Lord Regent's pulling out all the stops for the Boyle family. I didn't think there'd be tall boys patrolling here tonight. Watch yourself, Corvo. They don't fool around. The good news is, once you get to the party, that mask of yours will let you blend right in. Enjoy your evening out with the folk of quality.
Before we can go to the party though, we have to go get some more collectibles. Sadly that Weeper didn't die instantly, but I had to kill him because he was in the way. So right here we actually have a fence boost, which is sort of a damage boost that knocks us up in the air. They're usually very unpredictable, with that one you can use in runs. Pretty fun thing, this painting disappears after a while. But if you grab it quickly, it won't. So here I had good luck, which basically means that the Boyle sister that I killed right there was the one I was supposed to kill. And that's really good. Allows me to save a good bit of time. So here we go, really far out of bounds, and clip through a couple of walls to get some collectibles that's in the basement. At this point I basically know that this is quite a good run, because this Boyle level is really good, and also I had good luck here. So the nerves are really starting to kick in.
Said he would meet us here. I checked the wine cellar. Losing family gives a man a thirst.
We did it. And now we've done away with a woman, and a noble woman at that. But Boyle was a viper. She helped the Lord Regent kill the Empress. So I don't feel a thing for her. You've had a long night, Corvo. But I fear it's not over. Havelock and Martin have...
Also, something I forgot to mention is, before we enter the Boyle mansion, we talk to the guy in the wolf mask. The reason why we talk to him but never complete that quest is to make that dialogue that I just had with Pemberton slightly shorter. Or quite a bit shorter, I think.
Ready to face the Lord Regent? About time we took care of him, I say. Long past time. Oh my.
So in the beginning of this mission we will see another one of the elevator glitches. This is one of the few elevators that's used past the first 3 splits.
Most important thing is killing the Lord Regent. Built himself quite a place at the top of the tower. Calls it his safe room or something. Crazy if you ask me. Another point of interest while I'm giving you the grand tour, Corvo.
It's also interesting, with in the 90% route you would use the non-lethal alternative to kill the Lord Regent. But for all collectibles it's faster to simply find him and kill him. Use the elevator to get on top here. At that point the guards notice me, and it's important that they notice me because that tells the Lord Regent to go to his safe room on the roof, and it's important that he is in his safe room because that's where I want to kill him. So here we have a sequence of really cool out of bounds strats with a lot of slip clips. And this can be quite scary. I'm playing it fairly safe, because if I would fall down here, I would just die, and there's not an autosave anywhere close to this. When I go in here undetected, I move so fast they don't detect me. Then I can do a really quick kill on the Lord Regent, avoiding the long animation. So right here I do a mistake. That's probably the worst one in the run. And also I failed to get up there immediately. So that costed me quite a bit of time, which is a bit annoying. But it's basically because I'm nervous at that point.
You ready to go back to the Hound Pits? Thanks to you, Corvo. All right, let's go.
And it was probably a good thing that I wasn't comparing against anything with my splits, because I was quite far ahead.
Small fry like me
So I would have been nervous.
But maybe it's going to be different now. Lord Regent is gone. The Abbey has a new High Overseer. I'm guessing our work is almost done. The others are
This intermission is a bit fun because we have a sequence of these asses, the storage skips.
Reflect on things while we have a moment.
That saves a couple of seconds, but it's basically holding F for the entirety of this intermission. Just to skip these sliders, sort of. So Flooded starts with a long cutscene. It's basically 3 minutes long, I think. And I am actually doing one of the storage skips through the entirety of the cutscene, so I'm holding down the F key for 3 minutes right here. It's pretty stupid, but I decided to do it. So I guess I could talk a bit about this run. In Dishonored speedrunning, any percent is obviously the most popular category. And all collectibles hasn't been that popular, I'd say. I mean, I haven't run this game for super long, but at least since I started running it, there hasn't been a lot of people running this category. What got me inspired into running it was Frippic, who was the one person, like he was the master of all collectibles for a long time, and he had a really cool route for it. So earlier this year, when I started running it, I learned the route that he was using, and I felt quite quickly that there was a couple of things that could be optimized. And also some other people, most notably Xerion and Jan Mamrick, other Dishonored runners. They did some runs of this and optimized a lot of the route, and that's basically the product of that is what I use in this route or in this run.
Who you are and who you fight for. You're a mystery, and I can't allow that.
So the optimizing that was found basically was more clips and, in my opinion, a lot of new cool strats. Flooded is, for being this late in the run, it's really a hard mission. So I'm quite nervous at this point, and there are some mistakes in this that are not so great. We start off this mission by doing a clip that is considered quite hard, at least for people starting out. It's called brickless because it skips bricks. You would have to use bricks to get out of that prison otherwise. And here I fail a trick that I really shouldn't fail. This jump is called the sloth jump, and it's something I have problems with really choking at. Luckily I reloaded that really quickly and got it down second try. But this is another area that you only see in all collectibles, that you never visit in any percent. There's not that much to say about this. In this area there's a lot of assassins, and there's a shit ton of randomness here, because if they see you in certain places they can start using their powers to pull you in. Like they pull you closer to them, and that can really screw you up. Luckily I didn't have any problems with that in this run. I have to stay undetected here, so I can pickpocket Dowd, because he's carrying a bone charm.
Stand down. This is my fight. Afraid to face me?
So coming up is the last elevator glitch of the run. And this is quite a tricky one, but luckily I got it perfect first try. It's considered quite hard. It's a really cool strat, in my opinion. So right here I don't really do a slip clip, but I grab the bone charm right through the wall, using the same technique as I would to do a slip clip. And then I clip quite far out of bounds to get to this area. And I pickpocket the key from Granny Rags so I can open this door. Opening that door is important because, well, it progresses the Granny Rags quest for this area, and it makes this rune spawn. And that's the important part, because I need that rune. Another really interesting thing coming up. I go into this stream of water right here, and I quick save and I quick load. And the reason why I do that, as you sort of saw, it takes me to the end of the current, like the water current. The reason to that is because in this game, when you're in the water, you go faster the lower your frame rate is. And while quick saving, quick loading, there's like a couple of frames where you have a really low frame rate. And for those frames you will go super fast.
Please.
So it takes you to the end. So right now there's not much left of the run, and I'm pretty confident that I wouldn't make any more mistakes. Or like only minor things at least. There's only one rune, that's the only collectibles in this mission. Collectible. Getting a hard landing there is a bit ugly, but it doesn't really matter. So I blink out to the side of the boat to start this dialogue, and then as Samuel moves away, I blink to the boat. And by starting it and then having him move away, it skips quite a bit of the dialogue. I think it saves over 10 seconds.
This is it, sir. I suspect Havelock Martin and Lord
At this point I know I'm on a quite a nice run.
knowing them, they're not giving up without a fight.
And I'm
I remember hearing
sort of nervous, but at the same time I know there's not many things that could go wrong in this split. Even though I don't manage to do it perfectly.
one way to the top.
As in this mission as well, there's only one rune that I have to get.
Maybe after all this is settled.
That's the only collectible.
Good luck, Corvo. If anyone deserves it, you do. Give my best to him.
So that's one of the worst mistakes. I misclicked blink a bit early there. And sort of almost blinked to just where I was standing. Made me fall down and get a hard fall, but not really a problem. It sort of set me off though, so there's some sloppy blinking after that. And luckily I was able to get through that hatch quickly. Sometimes it's really freaking hard to get through that and drop down into the elevator. So timing stops when I save Emily, which is right here. 4440.98, so I guess a 4441.
Will I be Empress?
So that is the Dishonored all collectibles speedrun and the current world record.
And now Emily Caldwin the First.
Here I start comparing against my personal best.
After a season of
It's a 20.
You will stand
It's
at
20
her
seconds
side,
better than my previous PB,
guiding her young mind
which is
and protecting her from those who
really
seek
surprising in my
her
opinion. I thought I would get maybe a 4450 something. So this is a way better run than I expected.
You watched and listened.
And as you can see, this is obviously really improvable. There's a lot of mistakes in this that makes me lose time. Also, there's randomness that is not completely perfect.
Comes a golden age,
And
brought about by your hand.
so of course this category can be pushed further, and I could get better times. I mean, I do recommend people to try this out. At least people who run Dishonored any percent and like it. Because it is a really fun category.
And decades
However, it can be
hence,
quite
when
stressful
your hair turns white and you pass from this world,
to go for a good time because of all of the randomness. And also there's quite a bit of tricks
will
that
lay your body down within
cost
her
quite
love,
some time if you fail them.
because you are more to her than a royal protector. Farewell.